Hello, everybody. I'm Isabel, and I'm a life coach. My mission is to help women in midlife to have healthier relationships. But today, I am honored to have Maddie Sparkles with me. It's such an honor, and I do want to congratulate you on your recent honor to be awarded by the Woman of Heart Award for excellent leadership and diversity leader and numerous other awards. I'm just so proud of you and thank you for being here, Maddie Sparkles.
Thank you so much, Isabel. It's so great to be here with you. So good.
So good to have you here. So just tell us, who are you, Maddie Sparkles, and what do you do?
Well, my real name is Madeline P. Wober, and aka Maddie Sparkles, America's Scottish Sparkle. And I'm really all about helping people connect with their internal light or inner sparkle and connecting with their guardian angel so that they can release their fears and step
Mm,
into their power and live a truly magical life. Feeling divinely guided, really noticing the energy and the abundance around us in the universe, in the world. So I have come to this just throughout my life. I feel like I've been divinely guided by my guardian angel and the angels all around me. And I have had a few different things happen in my life that have been very challenging. And these
mm,
challenges really help me to look within and also to really listen to the wisdom of my body and really to see the silver linings in life because we're always going to be dealt challenges and blows that we can
yes.
really feel like, oh my goodness, how am I ever going to get through this? But I really believe that they're here to help us get stronger. So in my late 20s, no, my mid 20s, I dealt with chronic anxiety,
Mm,
major depression, suicidal thoughts, and debilitating panic attacks. And I'm a very sociable person, but during that time, I really could not go out. I was totally agoraphobic. I couldn't, I felt like I just wanted to hide every day.
mhm,
But I
mhm.
did manage to get through that with professional help and really rewiring my brain to make myself look for the positive rather than the negative in everything.
Yes.
And that became a very strong practice for me, even to this day.
Mm,
That doesn't mean to say ignore things that are not going well, but it just means being able to hold space for that and just allow it more. So the second thing that happened was in the next decade of my life, in my mid 30s, I had was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and I had
oh,
three major surgeries. And that was also a time in my life when things were really happening. I was in New York, I was becoming an actor, and I was in the hospital thinking, maybe I'm not supposed to be doing this with my life. Maybe I'm
mm,
supposed to be doing something else. I
mm,
know I'm supposed to be helping people, but
yes.
maybe it's not on stage in that way.
Mhm,
So then in my third decade or the next decade in my mid 40s, I then found out that I had multiple sclerosis, MS. And so each of these things have been really a big neon sign to
yes.
say, really get serious with yourself, really
Mhm,
listen to yourself, be honest with what is making you happy, with what brings you down, and follow
mm,
your heart and don't ever just do things to make other people happy because that's what I was doing for a lot of my life
yes.
when I was younger. So, in amongst all of these things, I always had a lot of joy and I always felt like was very creative. I was very creative and had so many things that I wanted to share with the world. And now, in my late 40s, I'm going to be 50 next year. I
Yes.
feel like I'm in the most alignment that I've ever been in. I
Mhm,
traveled the world and I published my poetry book, and I've done lots of different TV interviews recently with like NBC and ABC here in America. I'm originally from Glasgow, Scotland,
yes.
and it was always a huge dream of mine to live in America. But if I'm being honest, it was a very different America back then that it is now, and the whole
Yeah.
world is very, very different right now. So
True.
I've had to learn to adapt and adjust. And I'm still incredibly grateful that I got here, and it was a really quite amazing story as to how it happened. And that's another big part of my life that I'm very passionate about, and that is serendipity. I
Mm,
absolutely love serendipity, meaning the happy accidents or the chance meetings, because
mm,
I really don't believe in coincidence. I really believe that everyone I meet for a reason, and where I am is where I'm meant to be. And yes, of course,
yes.
I make choices, but
Mhm.
the things that happen and unfold during these choices or because of these choices are really pretty amazing. So that's a wee bit about me in a nutshell.
I love how you say "we bit." I love it.
Yes.
That's quite the amazing story. And there, I could be asking you a million questions about that. There's so much in there. And I love how you see the silver lining and how you want to spread goodness. And I can see that you spread the light and the love. And I have to say, you're most resilient. If you had a cancer and you've been diagnosed with MS and all these other difficulties, so I can see that you're very resilient, very loving, very kind woman. In spite of it, maybe because of it, I don't know, but it's all working out for the good, right?
Thank you. Yes, Isabel. I mean, I do feel like there is, um, I'm more than my human body.
Yes,
And with every blow, there is definitely an opportunity to learn and help others. And
yes.
I don't really identify with my illness. I don't really identify, I don't even saying the word illness. I don't even feel like I'm
Oh,
ill.
good.
I
Mm-hmm.
really do tend to just live my life. I'm not taking medication, although I know many people do take medication.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to do it myself, and I've been taking healthy supplements and things like that. So I don't tend to live every day thinking about that so much, or get into big conversations
Good,
about health in
good.
that way, about my condition. So I think for that as well, I just tend to have a really positive outlook and feel very grateful for the health that I do have.
That's beautiful that you're not taking it on as an identity. I know that's huge, right? Is that part of what you do in your business?
Say that again.
Is like helping people not to identify with certain things in their life? Is that something you do in your business?
I think with what I do for work, my business is really just help people see what I see, like
Mm-hmm.
just how incredible they are. They're unique. There's only one of you in the whole world, and
Oh
that
yeah,
makes you so special and actually a real miracle that you're here in the first place.
true.
You know, out of all the wee things that were happening to the sperms and the eggs, and to actually happen at that time for you to be born is such a
Mm-hmm.
big, big deal. So
Mm-hmm.
we all have our own message, we all have our own gift. And so many people, and me included, we've been brought up to be programmed to
Mm-hmm.
believe the stories that we tell ourselves about ourselves that are not
Mm.
necessarily true. Most
Yes.
of them are not true. They're maybe a wee bit more critical and
Mm-hmm.
judgmental. And so, really, with the work that I do, I combine my transformational empowerment coaching with the spirituality of the angelic realm. And then when I'm doing readings with people, the messages that come through when people are asking questions are so specific. The answers are so specific. And I really get the feeling over and over and over again that people really see what they're supposed to see in themselves. They get the
Mm-hmm.
messages, they realize, oh my gosh, I am on the right path. I am moving towards my dreams. This is what makes me feel the happiest. This is
Mm.
fulfilling for my soul. So that's really what it's all about. It's remembering why we came to Earth in the first place.
Yes. It sounds like a win-win. It makes you fulfilled and you
Yes.
mirror it back to them and they can see that they're being guided. That's a beautiful thing. So
Yes.
I also know, Maddie, you have something very special coming up soon. Would you like to tell us about that?
Oh my goodness, I can't remember
The
what.
retreat. The retreat.
Oh, there's so many things. There's
So
so
many.
many
I'm
things.
talking to Maddie. She has a million things happening in her life.
That's so funny. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
Yes. No, because I'm just in the middle of collaborating on a book, so I wasn't sure if you were talking about that. But
Whatever
yes,
you want to bring up.
no, this is great. Yes, my Living Magically retreat is going to be in Italy, in Sabianetta, at La Belle Sabianetta, run by Jo Wheeler, the most beautiful goddess that's leading all of us
Yes.
through this amazing Powerball team. And I'm very excited because this is also something that I've been manifesting for a long time. It's something that I was visualizing and wanting
Oh,
to do for years, even before I got to America. But I always had it in my mind that I was going to be running my retreats somewhere in the
oh,
world. And now I am. So I'm really excited about that.
that is beautiful. And the title is Living Magically. That's beautiful.
Yes, I was running a series of workshops during COVID online, so kind
Yes.
of a shorter version. But in the Living Magically retreats in Italy next summer, I'm going to be doing 5 weeks from the end of May, 29th of May until July 2nd, and running from Sunday to Saturday. And we're really going to be surrounded by the angelic realm as we always are anyway. But I'm going to bring more attention to that and help people really connect with their guardian angel, their own guardian angel, through a series of different guided visualizations. And we'll be doing lots of empowerment sessions so that we can really feel our power, our light, and radiate that out into the world so that when everybody leaves, they're going to really
Mm,
feel like they're sparkling. And it's very exciting to me. There'll also be lots of gifts and just total luxury. You know, all the flights will be included and
Mm.
pickups from the airport and drop-offs and some parties to gather together. And we're only doing 10 spaces per retreat because of COVID, just not making it too busy. But that's also great because it means that I can do one-to-one sessions with people for the angel readings, and also
Beautiful.
do groups as well, and teach people a little bit how to read the angel cards, tap into their intuition, and maybe expand on some of the things that they're already doing in their own life.
Oh, that
And I
sounds beautiful.
and I'm really excited to incorporate the beautiful surroundings and nature, and
Yes.
also the amazing benefits of healing music. And
Mm.
just really exploring out and about in Italy. We're going to be going to Verona and Venice and Milan, and also Florence and Pisa, and of course Sabianeta, where we're based. So I think it's just going to be, well, I know it's going to be
Yes.
absolutely incredible. It's going to be
Yes.
amazing.
And that's beautiful. It sounds like you're using a lot of what you've learned in your life and you're going to help these women bring it out in their life, which is the
Yes.
best, right?
Yes, and it's really about tapping into the unseen. It's about tapping into
Mm.
the angelic realm, knowing that you have a guardian angel by your side. Also, just being that wee bit more open-minded, just so that you
Mm-hmm.
know that if your ego is telling you something, it's not probably true about you. That
Yes.
you can do and be and have anything that you really dream of. Otherwise, that thought would not be in your mind in the first place.
That's true. It doesn't it wouldn't be there. And I love this saying that you don't have to believe every thought is in your head. That-
Exactly.
right? Because we're like
Exactly.
you said, there's so much programming and we believe a lot of things that are not true about ourselves or the world around us. So I love how open you are and how your passion is to help empower other women to see that and to feel that and then to be empowered and go home with all these transformations. So who's this
Absolutely.
woman that needs to come to your retreat? Who is she?
Oh, so by the way, I just want to share that I don't just work with women, I work with men and young adults too. But
Good.
for the purpose of this retreat, yes, it's going to be targeted for women. And so anyone that's really spiritual, that really
Mm,
wants to connect more with their healing team and their angels, that really has a fascination and an interest in the angelic realm or just the metaphysical world around us, that we know that there's signs, but what do these signs mean? And
mm,
how do I actually communicate and connect with my own angels without you, Maddie Sparkles? Like, just be able to do it myself. So there's just lots and lots of different things that we can learn. And yes, so women that are interested in that tend to be spiritual but not so much religious. It's not the religious aspect, although you might be
mm-hmm,
religious and come to the retreat.
mm-hmm,
But I purely
mm-hmm.
focus on the spirituality of it and the metaphysical piece, where we're surrounded all the time by this incredible power, and we're being led and guided, and it's about really learning to get into that flow and to trust in the flow, and then you'll see the magic
Mm.
happen.
A lot of trust. Yeah. Do you have
Yes.
a story of how you got involved in the angel world?
Oh, yes, I was in my 20s. Actually, I've always felt really guided, even as a young child. I always
Mm-hmm,
felt that there was something around me, to the point that I even thought maybe I was an earth angel. But I didn't really know how to articulate that at a child
mm-hmm.
of like age 2.5. But I just
Yes.
knew there was
Wow,
something.
that's young. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'll just tell you something very quickly. When I was 2.5, I ran away from home and I went to the swing park, and I met a lady in the park who gave me some chocolate, and then somehow a policeman brought me back. And I actually think that maybe my angels were around me that day, because
Most
I was,
likely.
yeah, I was super cute. Like I could have been taken away that
Yes,
day, but I
you were
was brought
protected.
home.
You were
Incredible.
protected and you felt safe.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I was just having the best time. It was the greatest adventure. So, but my first major experience was in my 20s. I was in Loch Lomond. I was actually working part-time over the summer in a castle in Loch Lomond, and
Mm,
the castle was haunted, apparently. And my job was to go in and open up the big wooden doors, the oak doors, to unlock them. And
mm-hmm,
the one to the dining room, I was opening it at 5:30 in the morning so that I could go through the dining room into the kitchen and set up the kitchen and the dining room for breakfast for all the travelers.
mm-hmm.
And so unlocked the door and I walked through the dining room, the huge big bay windows at the end of the room, looking out onto the grounds. And as I walked past, I just said, "Hi, morning," to the lady that was sitting at the door, at the bay windows.
Out the
And
window.
then I walked into the kitchen and I just stopped in my tracks and I was like, "Oh my
Who was
goodness.
it?
Yes, who was that?" Walked back in and she was gone.
Oh my goodness.
But then I walked down to where she was sitting. I sat there. I felt this incredible presence, and I started having this conversation with her, asking her questions and what do you need and why are you here? And we had this big long conversation. And then I noticed after a few minutes that the big heavy oak door
Or
opened, like the handle went down, the door opened and then closed behind her, and so she left. And then
wow.
after that, there was a whole series of things that happened in the castle with me that were quite incredible, and I just knew, and then from that moment on, there were so many things that happened. In fact, even prior to that,
Mm-hmm.
when I was traveling the world, there was always this angelic guidance around me that I think saved my life many times.
Many times. What a story. I can just picture it like in Scotland, this old castle. It's spooky.
I
That is
know.
what an experience, Maddie.
And I have to say that that castle was such a huge part of my like path, like in
Mm-hmm.
my story of life.
Mm-hmm.
And when my fiance came to Scotland to visit me a few years ago, I said I have to share this
You
castle with
have
you.
to.
I have to
Yes.
take him. And
Yes.
we went to go and find it. We couldn't find it anywhere. And apparently a European billionaire has bought it and turned it into like his own apartments. So it's
Oh, it's
gone.
private. It's
Yes.
private.
So
Oh, but the
upsetting.
story will be with you, and who knows, maybe he'll sell it one day and you can go back.
Yes. You know what? I hope he's enjoying it because it's
It's
beautiful.
beautiful. Wow, what a story. Maddie, this is fascinating. I want to be there and learn. So before we round this conversation up, I do want to ask you one other thing. What is one fun fact about Maddie?
Ooh, one fun fact. Well, I'm Scottish and I'm Jewish. I'm not religious, but I was brought up Jewish, and so I can sing and read and write in Hebrew.
Wow, that is
Yes.
amazing. Yes.
Which I actually use often if I meet Israelis and I hear them speaking, then I'll say Shalom, Manishma, and they'll be like, "What?" And I'll
Yeah.
start talking to them. And then if we become friends, then I'll sing for them, and they find it so funny with my Scottish
Oh,
accent.
wow. I know Scottish and Hebrew. I know shalom. What was the second part? Does that mean how
Manish,
are you? Or
yes, Manishma means how are you?
beautiful, beautiful. So Scottish living in America and speaking Hebrew. That is fascinating.
Yay!
Fascinating. Is there anything else you'd like to share, Maddie?
Oh, I just want to say to everyone, come to the retreat, really delve into the angelic realm with me. Let me take you on this journey and be open to the beauty and the wonder and the curiosity and awe of how beautiful this world is. No matter what's going on around us as well, there's always this beautiful, beautiful natural awe about it that we're even here.
Mm. Well, before we say goodbye, I just want to acknowledge you, Maddie, for bringing so much warmth, so much curiosity, so much love, and so much light to whoever you meet. And I'm just honored to have met you and to be able to speak to you today. So I really acknowledge you for that and for all the outside awards you received this past weekend. That's important too. Congratulations. And it was really an honor to have you here today.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. If anyone does want to get in touch on any level, then they can go to www.maddiesparkles.com.
That's it. That's what my next question. Where can everybody find you?
Yes,
MaddieSparkles.com.
maddiesparkles.com.
Awesome. I hope everybody heard that. So thank you for listening and watching. Thank you, Maddie. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye for now.